Hi everyone, welcome to DMC TV. This is my first vid in a while. Been very busy the past few months for obvious reasons, as you can probably see here. And I've got a special guest today. It is my little baby, who has just turned 5 months old. And me and him are going to be discussing the US election. I'm going to be shamelessly using him to try and get more views because my previous vids have just been dire. I'm literally using any trick I can. This is a desperation sign. He's getting sleepy, but he's got a bit of work to do here before going to bed. Um, and yeah, we are going to discuss the US election, son, aren't we? Yeah, you excited? Who's going to win in a couple of days? Yeah. So I've done this before, just off camera. I'm going to run through what I think is going to happen in the obvious states and the less obvious states, and who I think is going to win. Which I do. Spoiler alert: I do think it's going to be Trump. There's been some polls the past few days about Kansas and Iowa. I've got a mate who's been messaging me who's a Harris fan, making me a bit nervous, but I don't trust the polls. Never trust the polls. You don't trust the polls either, Lou, do you? You remember your mummy? Remember your mummy, mate? The Polish lady? Don't trust the polls, do we? Right. Anyway, so let's run through this. Let's start off with the safe Democrat states and these where the majority of people are just terrible people, like my friend who sent me the messages earlier. Anyway, so Washington, Oregon, California, Hawaii. Lots of terrible people there. Who else? We've got Colorado, New Mexico. Again, awful, awful people. Minnesota because of Tim Walz. Then you've got Illinois. All more bad people. Then up on the East Coast, all just a very bad part of America. DC. Uh, let's go through this from the top, actually. I think that's Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, Vermont, New York. I think Trump's got a chance there, but probably not. I'll give New York to the Blues. I think in the past video I've said Trump's going to win that, but I'm less confident about that now. Always murmurs about New Hampshire, but I think that'll stay blue. Again, too many bad people there. And Maine. And that's where we get to starters. Oh, again, always forget Virginia. England to 226. You okay, son? There'll be no editing on this vid. I'm too tired and can't be asked. You grabbing my microphone? We're just going to see how it goes. Okay? No playing up there, yeah? Right. It's just a gesture. Then you've got the red states, Republican states, lots of great people, salt of the earth people. You've got Alaska, Utah, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, North and South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas. You see, they've been talking about Kansas and Iowa. It's just disinformation. They're going to be safe Republican states. Oklahoma, Texas is 40 big points, Louisiana, Arkansas, Montana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, South Carolina, Florida, Kentucky, West Virginia, Indiana, and Ohio. The dummy keeps falling out. Do you want to keep the dummy out? Yeah. So that's for starters. The US election is going to be decided by what? 7 states. You can talk about the 1 points in the districts in Maine and Nebraska. I can't remember which one it is, to be honest with you, it doesn't matter. They net each other off. That's the expectation. The key points you're going to have are these 7 states. And based off recent polling, which I'll put up on screen now, the most reliable 2020 pollsters has put Trump ahead in all 7 states, especially in the South, Nevada and Arizona. Yeah, that exciting. Trump's going to win. It's that exciting. Nevada and Arizona on the West, big Trump victories, poll differences at least. Georgia's going to be another win, and North Carolina should be fine. So if we do that, Trump's then only 2 points off 270, with 3 states left in play. I think he's going to win all three, but the least likely he's going to win is Michigan because Biden had a big victory there last time. So say Biden wins that one. Fine, 268 plays 241. I'm still convinced that Wisconsin's definitely going to go to Trump. I'm convinced that Pennsylvania will too, less likely than Wisconsin, but that's going to be Trump's minimum victory. I think he's going to win Michigan. I think he's going to end up with 312. Again, in previous videos, I've said New York. Always been a safe blue state in recent regional elections, but this time around, I think Trump could win it. He's a New Yorker, but not as confident as I've been previously. But I think it's going to win 312 226. If you're a betting person, and I may have lost some money on the last election, I've done a small bet this time. Um, Trump Electoral College. Oh, could you leave the microphone alone, please? Got some work here. Trump's going to get between 300 and 329. That's my prediction. 10 to 3. Yeah. Can win some money. Yeah. 30 quid returns 100, for example. Worth a bet. Now, I think it's going to be absolute carnage when Trump wins because if you thought the January 6th stuff was bad, and in my opinion, it was bad, but not as bad as the 2020 riots after George Floyd's death. I think what will happen if Trump wins is that the left will riot, Antifa, BLM, all of them will riot on stuff way worse than January 6th. I don't know if it'll be on a par with the 2020 riots, the Summer of Love, but if Harris wins, I don't think there'll be as much of a reaction. I think there'll be a reaction either way, but I think if Trump wins, what's your head, mate? If Trump wins, it's going to be carnage. What do you think? What do you think, son? Maybe carnage? Lots of dribbles. Sorry, you had that in the last minute or two. But that's my thoughts, folks. Like I say, long day, no editing going on this video. That's what me and my boy think. Trump's going to win, and we'll see what happens in the aftermath. But thanks for watching, and please subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Many thanks.